All right, how's it going, everybody? It has been quite a while since I decided to play some NFL 2K5. I don't know why, I just never really quite got around to it, but we are in Week 9, and we are facing the Minnesota Vikings. And I will tell you, I have not picked up this game since the last time I played this, which, let me look and see. Celtics fan cries about Gordon Hayward. Something must have happened there. When was the last time I played this game? Oh, shit. Hang on. Looks like 2 months ago was Week 7, but we're in Week 9, so there's still a Week 8, I think, somewhere. There we go, Week 8. It said a month ago. Might have been longer than that. Let me see here. June 28th. So, yeah, that's 7 weeks ago. Is this modern rosters or no? Yes, it is. It's modern as of beginning of last season, I think. Because I have Lamar Jackson, but he's not great. He is fast, but he's not he's like a 79 overall. He's not amazing. But yeah, either way. So since I have not played this since June, prepare for me to be terrible.
Hi, I'm Chris Berman.
It will absolutely happen. I will be terrible. Are you looking at my old YouTube stuff about the old D&D podcast I used to be on? Is that what we're doing now? We're going to be looking at my old D&D podcast shit. All right. This is going to be terrible. I'm probably going to suck, but we'll see. I wish there was I know there's a franchise mode mod for oh Jesus. I know there's a franchise mode mod for All Pro Football 2K8, but I really wish they had an actual I bet you if they did it now, if they did something like All Pro Football 2K8 now, I bet you it would sell a lot better. Guaranteed. The DNR gang, that was your best stuff. Uh-huh. That was when I was still like a sniveling little yes man who just... Oh my god. That was before I became all fucking cynical about shit. Oh, you suck. Really? How? Fuck you. You were in a D&D podcast? Yeah, years ago. God, it's probably been... Oh, god damn this fucking controller. Probably like 6 years ago now, I think. 6? Over 6? Nearly about, I think I left right around 6 years ago. Little over 6 years ago. You hosted TNT. Yeah, I used to do, so I was part of like a D&D live play podcast, which they're still going, by the way. They did like a whole Kickstarter for like a book and everything, so I think my character is going to be in it because it was one of the original characters. It really was Goober Tyler. So yeah, I think my character is one of the original characters, so I think my character's probably in there. It was at least fairly significant to like the early part of the story. I know that me and some of my friends who were like a part of that though would not fit in with like the style of what they do now. Like kind of the way they are now, we hardly gelled well with like some of the groups that came in after us, just because we were a bit more rough and tumble and a bit non-PC, and the rest of them like ended up being a bit more into that. And now it's a bit more I say a bit more. It's a lot more progressive. It's a very progressive podcast now. Hey, there we go. All right, we're doing something. You still watch football? I think, honestly, I've watched more arena football than NFL football. Tyler's in a game. I mean, we did a D&D live play thing, and Do you still talk with them? I actually came around to talking with them somewhat recently, but like before that, it's been not much. Like we've interacted on Twitter a few times. We've had an actual conversation a little bit, but I actually did have like a comeback on one of the more recent episodes as like a ghost of my character as a ghost. So we kind of had a bit of a comeback that people were excited about for like a single episode. But yeah, I didn't talk to them for a while. And even then it's still like a few people, but I just don't have a lot in common with a lot of the new people that they have. What's the name of the channel? Dungeons and Randomness. They actually make something like what, $4,000 a month? The guy makes like a salary now doing this shit. Let me see this. Oh my god. Dungeons and they basically did like a soft restart of everything. So they're like, oh yeah, we did like 5 years of podcasting and then we kind of restarted the whole thing. How much do they make a month now? Oh, $5,800 a month. So yeah, it's like his job now. He works like 12 hours a day, I think he said, sometimes on this shit. But he makes, yeah, almost $6,000 a month. That was also a thing that some of the early podcast people, some of the early people in one of the other groups was not happy with. Was, I don't think, because we didn't get paid for any of that stuff. So I think that was a thing where they're like, hey, you know, we're kind of talent on this podcast. And yeah, that just kind of went away eventually when they just were like, all right, yeah, we're not gonna be a part of it anymore. So yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, you found their you found their YouTube. Oh, are they posting the live stuff on they're posting the live stuff on YouTube now. Interesting. Oh boy. Don't go under most popular. I see myself. I see myself. That was a little bit skinnier me too. There was one of them where there was a bit skinnier me. That's after I lost something like 65 pounds. Oh God, was I thin. I was not thin, but I was definitely thinner. Holy Jesus.
And I'm Tyler Wilson.
Oh God. Ugh. This guy's making $5,000. Most of it is from people. I mean, the YouTube thing's not a huge deal, but it's like the Podbean and stuff like that. So, you know, people listen to, like, I think they have something like at least 4,000 people, I think, each episode who will listen. Last I knew about Podbean numbers. I don't know now. And the Spreaker thing, I think, is what they post on their YouTube. But yeah, I don't think they use their YouTube all that much. So, ooh, that was close. Yeah, $5,800 a month. So they're doing well. Oh, why I left? I ended up scheduling. Scheduling was the big thing. Am I getting shit on Discord that I don't need to be? Oh, okay. All right. Am I gonna keep getting pinged for random horse shit that they're talking about? Had Clout. Remember to run with Lamar. That's a good point. I'm sitting here talking at the same time, and I'm trying to focus on like what I'm talking about, as well as playing this game. And sometimes I can't do both. This is not one of those games like College Hoops where I can just kind of turn off my brain and start doing it. But yeah, it was. I ended up making full time. I ended up making full time at the post office, and then stuff just didn't work out with scheduling. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna write my character off. That's what they told people, and that was a big part of it. Also, we were clashing on just other general things. There were things that I didn't quite agree with that he was doing, especially like off the show, especially stuff I was getting accused of. I wasn't a big fan of it. Once again, we've kind of hammered all this out before, recently with a Skype call, but yeah. Like there were things where it was like, "Hey, you're being really mean towards blah blah blah," and it's like, "No, it's just banter." And they're like, "Well, I don't appreciate." It was very like I said, we were a very rough and tumble non-PC group, and then it's hard to try to be more kid gloves with people who aren't like that. So when you kind of try to be rough and tumble with them and banter with them, sometimes they take it as more, there seems to be hatred. It's like, no, that's mostly what it was. Is there was the idea was like, oh yeah, you seem to really be, doing, you seem to not like them or blah blah blah. Would I start a new podcast with them? Probably not. Whoops. I don't know if I'd do another podcast in general. But yeah, that was I think one of the key things that he was like not talking about. Oh shit, oh god damn it, I hit the wrong button. I hit the right trigger and not the right bumper. I'm a stupid idiot. I could have easily just ran the ball in, but I tried to tuck and run, and I accidentally hit the wrong button for the tuck. I'm a moron. God damn. I should have just done a pass play, but I didn't want to give up the 3 points at this point. So yeah, after enough times that we kind of clashed with each other, it was like we just kind of agreed to go our separate ways. I know I had an open lane. I meant to hit right bumper, which would have, tucked the ball. I'm fully aware of the open lane. What I meant to hit was right bumper so I can scramble. What I ended up hitting was right trigger, which threw the ball away. Oh no, did you find Skinny Me? It's not hard to find me on there. You have to go to the old stuff. Yeah, that video, most likely the video that you're looking at, I don't know what video you put up. Is it from my character one or is it a hanging out one? Oh yeah, that was legitimately, that trip was one of the I would say not last. Well, yeah, that trip was probably one of the last straws in things where it went okay, but then afterwards there was still kind of arguing back and forth with things, and yeah. So that literally all the video from that trip was literally like a month or two, like I think 2 months, within about 2 months of me being gone. So you went from some clout to no clout. I really went from no clout to no clout. Because the show wasn't big at that point. The show didn't have a Patreon. It wasn't making thousands of dollars a month at that point. The thousands of dollars that they've been making on Patreon every month happened at least a year or two after. In fact, the Patreon thing was within the last like 3-4 years. Once the main guy moved from Jersey to California, he moved out near the Bay Area, and so yeah, they kind of have to make $6,000 a month. At least with the clout that I have, I can occasionally get a free game, or some beta access, or get to chat with a developer or a mod maker. I feel like there's at least a little bit of clout that I have. Just insignificant clout that no one cares about. But yeah, at that point, not a lot of people were really watching or listening. So was it popular with your team? My particular group? Is that? My particular group, our particular group was that was actually one of the main things that split the audience, and that was because us as the more rough and tumble non-PC group really split the audience, because once they started bringing in a couple other groups that were a bit less rough, there were a lot of people who got used to the way we were, and they weren't happy that some of these other groups are coming in. When we team up with New Legacy, probably never. I don't imagine myself ever getting acknowledged. I don't. I think, God, it's only been, I don't know, fucking years since there was like even a hosting. I don't expect an acknowledgement. Oh, that was a dumb idea. Oh well. But yeah, like I said, we've hammered a lot of that out, and it's also one of those things where it's like we get along because we can kind of talk about it, but also I don't know if he ever I don't know if he's ever like, oh yeah, we could do a normal. It's like I would never do a regular basis thing like that. I just wouldn't. I just couldn't do it. I like doing my own thing. I like doing this stream. Make me out to be the bad guy whenever I say something. Is that something I said in the video? Or is that something one of the things I just said about? It kind of is one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was, they were just going a different direction. That was one of the big things. Hey, all right. Well, at least we took him to a field goal. Damn. All right. But yeah, there's a few people that I talk to all the time during that point when I was on the podcast that I just don't talk to at all. Like, I just don't talk to him anymore. So I was like, either they're moving on with their life, or I did, or, we both did, or we just didn't. We just weren't good enough friends. You can group me up. You can make a new group with me and Okada. I'm not doing a D&D thing. In fact, that's the thing with my personal group of friends. They know that I used to be on a podcast, so now they go, hey, we want to do a D&D group. Can you DM for us? I'm like, I really don't want to. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to. They're like, well, you used to be on a D&D podcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, but doesn't mean I want to do it anymore. Oh, we got close. All right. Not quite enough. Oh, did they call a timeout? Oh, they did. Oh, it was the 2-minute warning. All right, this time I'm going to punt so that we actually do something. But I'm going to do a little bit better job. There we go. Ooh, that should be pretty good. That should work out pretty well. I like that. I really like that. There we go. I try and look. What? Under no circumstances have I ever. Okay, you're talking about the Twitter photo. I mean, she photographed herself that way. Fuck off. I'm just honest about. I'm honest about it. I'm not like some of the other people who are like, I just really like her for her singing ability and her wrestling ability, and it's like, nah, she cute. She cute AF. Let's not beat around the bush. I also did at the time I was doing the D&D podcast. I also did a wrestling podcast. I think I still have all those episodes. That is a trip to listen to, because like the first. Oh shit! Because like the first like 30 or so episodes, I was doing a podcast that was like that was sort of like an audio version of OSW Review, but not nearly as good because my broadcast, both me and my broadcast partner kind of sucked. But we would talk about old school stuff. This is like 2012, actually maybe 2011. And then once we got to 2012, and they had the once they started with the what is it, the NXT stuff at Full Sail, I actually had a new friend of mine, and we did a wrestling podcast I did a wrestling podcast with him at the same time. He and I were also doing part of the D&D podcast. So it all we were doing the D&D podcast, and we did the wrestling thing every week. So yeah, we talked about NXT like back in we actually literally started right after Seth Rollins won the title. We literally started after like 3 weeks into the Full Sail days. So there's a lot of things in there where we're talking about, like, you know, Corey Graves when he was still a wrestler, and my love of Jake Carter, and Bo Dallas when he was doing his shtick. Damn it, I just tried to run. Fuck, I should have just... I just tried to get in there, but the guy's just fucking... He'll get canceled by the Joshi community. We'd absolutely get canceled by the Joshi community. That would absolutely happen. We would have all those dudes who always post on Joshi Twitter and been like, these guys are not respectful. I wish he'd stop talking about Momo Watanabe's thighs. Oh yeah, that was one of the first times I ever got drunk. That particular video was actually film footage of like maybe the first time I got drunk. I don't know if I was drunk. I had like 6 or 7 shots of Fireball, I think. Fireball was like the first alcoholic beverage I really drank. All right, well, at least we're going to halftime. Someone called you. Yeah, there's a few girls there.
And that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Vikings are out in front 10-6. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol.
We can't cancel us if we cancel ourselves. Halftime show. Might as well watch the halftime show and watch our failures. Look at all those passing yards. Man, our rushing yards suck. And the majority of them is Lamar Jackson because our running back hasn't done well. I don't even remember most of the shit that they talked about in that video. I think later on in the video you get to see them like put eyeliner on me, and I think a little bit of blush. Yes, they're just talking. I haven't done anything wrong. I am the least. How do you only have 14 with Lamar Jackson? Only doing like 3 runs. I did at the time have a thing for one of the girls there. If you go like 13 minutes into that video, the one brushing my face with blush, and I think doing the majority of my makeup. Well, no, I guess the black-haired one's doing it too, but the one with the big brush putting some sort of thing on my face. I did have a thing for you. But she was in a relationship. Yeah, they were all in. I think one of them ended up getting married. The one that I had a thing for, I haven't talked to literally since the day I left. She's one of them I didn't end up talking to, like, pretty much ever again. It was like, yeah, whatever. And then one of them ended up, I don't know what her whole thing is, but yeah, when she ended up moving to California as well, and I think is single. I don't know. There we go. There we go. I have seen occasionally because I know some of them, I don't know how many of them still do it, but I know some of them started YouTube channels. I think one guy, he didn't get big, I don't know, but I know he, I think, did okay for himself. A couple of the others really didn't. I don't know if they just gave up or they just didn't get an audience beyond the people who listen to the podcast. That's one of the things that used to be a thing. It's you know what's kind of amazing is how long I've been doing this now. Because literally, I think I started streaming literally about 2 months after I left that podcast. Because I was fucking like depressed and lonely. Because like a lot of because when I used to live by myself, they were about the only ones that I talked to, and then I just kind of stopped talking to them. So I reconnected with some of my old personal friends, and I started streaming to actually meet people as well. It's the whole. There you go. That gives you a good that gives you the insight into how I started. Oh, God damn it! I suck. Gives you an insight as to how I started streaming. It was literally like 2 months after I left that podcast. But yeah, for a while there, you really like the Himika picture. What? She cute. Fuck you. But yeah, I'm glad to have grown an audience. But yeah, for like, it's amazing for the time that I've been doing it. I think at first when I started doing it, like way back in 2013, when I was doing like my Homefront and Torchlight 2 and stuff like that, it was pretty much people who maybe were kind of interested in that stuff, but mostly listened to the podcast. And then to 2020, you're still depressed. No, I think I'm just more cynical now. I'm not like I was fucking like, I was sad. I think I was more lost. I think that was more the thing. I'm not nearly as depressed now. I'm just more cynical about things. But I was like lost at that point. Like I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what I am doing with myself. Now I kind of at least have some goals. Get myself a home to live in. Is Jackson still taking punt returns? I'm trying to not have that happen. Why is that still happening? Tyler was lost until he found photo books. Until I found anime. I actually didn't really watch anime until... Oh, why did I do that? I actually didn't watch anime until after I left the podcast either, which is actually kind of funny talking to one of the guys there. Semi recently was like, he's like, did you start getting into Japanese stuff? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I was kind of following you on Twitter, and it was just kind of weird to see. There's just nothing. I'm not able to make anything happen. I couldn't run with Jackson because there's not really a good place to run. There wasn't any good passes. Ugh. Let's try this again. I'm going to hopefully make this work. Ooh, that should be pretty good. That should do pretty good. Ah, damn. Yeah, it's going to bounce too far.
some distance, and then it veered out of bounds, preventing
I hate D&D.
The Vikings will start this first play of the
But yeah, when I first started doing YouTube stuff, it was mostly people who just listened to the podcast that I was doing. And it's been interesting now because every once in a while, like at least for like a good up until literally maybe a couple of years ago, like it occasionally diminished to like, hey, I remember you from from the D&D podcast. I remember you from this and this and this. And like that's slowly diminished now, and basically now what I mostly have now, I think, is people who are here because of my YouTube stuff, rather than hey, I remember you from years ago when you were on this D&D podcast.
end zone for him, and he has some nice stats so far.
Yeah, he's generated points, that's for sure.
There we go.
So far,
Bench clearing goalie brawl. I mean, that happened this last season, I believe. Not during the playoffs, but it happened sometime earlier in the season. I'm going to try to do better. There's still time left on the clock. I'm not worried about it. At least you weren't a Janetti. I went out on my own, and it's worked out, I guess? Question mark? Like I said, I've seen some of the other people do their own YouTube stuff, and maybe they just didn't have an idea of what they wanted to do, or they just kind of gave up, or whatever. But yeah, it's become, I don't know, it's at a point now where I don't know if there is people, because there used to be a couple guys way back when who I would kind of I would still kind of talk to, and they still knew me from the podcast. But yeah, I'm at a point, that's got to be defensive pass interference. Yup. But I think it's gotten to a point now where I don't really I don't get anybody who mentions that anymore. It's been at least a couple of years, I think, since I've had anybody who's mentioned D&D podcast to me. I don't think I've hardly ever talked about it on stream because of it. I think I used to, and then I just kind of like skirted the issue. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it was a thing. But yeah, I don't think I've talked about it in a long time. You're welcome, man. I guess. Is it God bless him for opening back up the floodgates? It's like I memory hold it in my brain, and then he decided to bring it back up. So I don't know if it's not like a super hurtful thing, but it at least maybe makes for some good stories? Question mark. I don't know how many good stories there are. Just because I'm at a point now where it's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't do anything with them anymore. Not that I hate them, but I just wouldn't want to be a part of that world anymore. Hey, there we go. We're still in it. See, we're still in it. Dude, I'm going to hate so much if it comes down to 3 points, because it could have been at least 17-9. You know what? They're definitely going to blitz, so let's just... God damn it! Oh shit, is he back? Oh no, he's back in.
Team doctor's diagnosis is that he's got a few broken ribs. They've given him something to ease the pain, but it's
okay, good. Thank God for Tyler Eifert.
the official word on his return.
Just showing you this. Ooh, I see Marika TJP. Hang on. You've piqued my interest. I like that. It's a maybe. I don't know. I do enjoy it, but so you can like it later and I can use it as fire. Oh, see, I was contemplating whether or not I should like it, and I think I nixed that idea. Although I do appreciate being shown that. Nothing brightens my day like Marika Kobashi in a sports bra. Or whatever that. It's not really. Is it a crop top? Nah, it's not really much of a a tank crop top. Ah, God, just get in there.
Would you take a shot here?
Well, there are a lot of options.
Oh my God.
May not be a bad idea.
Joe has his number called on second down and maybe picks up one on the play.
Ah, damn it.
Third down and
Come on, you son of a bitch. No.
bring up fourth and goal.
We're going to make this happen, damn it. All right. Ah, fuck a duck. It could be 17-12 right now.
Well, those were some great
God damn it all to hell. Why?
Are going to try and capitalize on the interception.
I did what I was supposed to do with a top-level running back. Try to run. The offensive line blew it. Why are Joshi fans degenerates? Are you specifically talking about me, or did something pique your interest? Are you basically calling me a degenerate and making it a generalization of all people? Or is there something else that you saw? Ah, come on.
Takes his 13th carry
Damn it.
and barely picks up.
I mean, I know. I still make for a good.
finds the hole on this one and gains some good yardage.
It's like I'm not helping anything. I know. I'm not helping any case out. I'm basically just example A, B, or C as to why someone's a degenerate. I'm just open about it. Why? Why?
25, 10,
Damn it.
he's in for the touchdown.
Oh, the Twitter comments for her post. Oh, is there stuff in Japanese that people are saying that are simping? Or are there English people? Oh, I see the Good Morning Beautiful. That isn't as bad as the one dude. There's one dude who's like, you'll notice him because he's got like the Argentinian flag. He's like Argentinian, whatever. He's from Argentina, and yeah, you'll usually see him because he'll have that flag there, and he'll be like, "Oh, this beautiful woman, she's just so amazing," and blah blah blah. I don't think he does it for everybody, but I know he's a big Nautica fan because I've seen it on Nautica stuff. I don't think he's done Hikari Noah stuff. He's done it on a few things. I bet you if you look through some of the likes, because sometimes if they don't quite understand too much English, they don't understand, but he's being a fucking creep.
Ross downs this in the end zone for a touchdown.
Your competition.
The home players
I don't want to out him,
and their running game really
but I'm sure you can find it.
other than a big play.
Because he'll usually post, I think, GIFs or stuff, or he'll post a picture,
30-yard line.
and then talk about how so-and-so is beautiful and amazing and
Past the markers.
all that horse shit.
First down, empty backfield.
Fuck! Why?
The 35.
Hate life. I hate this game. I hate everything. Why do I play this? Why? Why am I so terrible? Fuck! Can I just sim to the end? I hate it. I hate everything. I hate everything. God damn it. I can't. There was a hot girl in your D&D group? Yeah. She was the one I had a thing for. Oh, no, don't sim the season. Oh, are we the last game? All right, I guess we'll watch Sports Center. Why not? That's one of fucking... Yeah, there we go.
Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games
Hi,
to cover. Let's
Chris.
get at it.
Yeah.
In our first game this week, we had
At least the
Panthers
Raiders are
stroll
doing
away with a
awful.
14-point win. The Steelers won this contest, but will stay at the second place in the AFC North. Patterson had a stellar game, but all said and
Monica
done,
likes her own
his
post. Oh
performance
boy.
wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory.
At least the
Ryan
Bears
threw
aren't
for
doing
over
it. Oh,
200
thank
yards
God the
and helped his
Cardinals.
Dolphins beat the
The
Cardinals.
Dolphins are 7-2.
Long-standing AFC
The
rivalry
Browns
where
are
the
6-2.
pick up their sixth win of the year. Up in the Motor City, Detroit, we had the Lions come away with
And you
a
didn't go
7-point
after
win.
her. I talked to her. I tried to get some interest. She had a guy. She had a guy. She's a bit of a weird one. She went to like this heavy metal concert. This like metal dude.
The Cowboys go on to win this by the final score of 34.
He looks like a dude. He imagine a dude who likes metal. That's what he looks like, and that's what she was into.
The Broncos had over 100 return yards in their victory at
The
Invesco
Broncos are
Field.
8-1. Jesus.
The Saints lost on the road, but will get to head home and meet
The
the
Chargers
Chiefs.
were 8-1.
The Seahawks
Yeah, no, she
lost
had
this
a
one,
she had a
will
guy.
stay at number one in
It
the
wasn't a
NFC
lack of
West.
trying. Trust me.
The Patriots win yet again.
Of course,
this
the
week and keep
Patriots do
their
it.
impressive streak alive. Chiefs, Buccaneers.
See, this is why I don't even want to discuss. This is why I don't even want to talk about. Why do we even discuss personal things? Chiefs are 5-3.
The Chiefs win this
That's why
one
you
by
hate
the
no
final
Salo,
score of
right?
30-10. And in
Lord
our final game,
Almighty.
we had the Vikings
Really?
come away victorious.
Really now?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were
You're
hit hard
metal.
this
You
week.
deal with it.
Walk is probably the one that most leaps out at you.
Good Lord.
He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs.
I don't even
We've
want to
got
do
the
this.
NFC list. And as you can see,
Why do I play this
they formed
game?
their own mash unit. This guy might be the
See, this is what happens when I don't
biggest
play for a while. Is I play
Doctors
like
confirming the worst
garbage.
this week, a torn hamstring, and that'll put him out for 6 weeks.
Are
Now the
we
big
done yet?
story of the day.
Devontae Adams is out for the regular
He's gonna find
season.
himself on the shelf, and that will be
Damn
a
it.
major blow to his team. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
So we're more or less at the midpoint of our season, things starting to take shape.
Oh yeah, I really got to be ahead of the curve by
Here's
changing
men
out the
backed by
Redskins
primetime players game ball.
for a Vegas
If they
team.
get their way, we will see them
I tried to think of a terrible team to make the Vegas team.
That'll do
I made it the
sports
Redskins.
fans.
I'm very
Chris Berman.
ahead of the
Thanks so much
curve
for
there.
joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on
All
ESPN.
right, and turn this all the way down because it's gonna be loud. There we go. So on to week 10. I don't know if I'll do it. I don't know when I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it at some point. There we go. Thank you for helping with my self-esteem. I'm going to go fucking hate my life and never stream again. At some point, that's what's just going to happen. I feel like that's actually just going to be what's going to happen is I'm just going to stop streaming. I'm just going to stop doing it one day. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with this anymore. Don't they have a college basketball game? Yeah, they do. All right. I'll see if I want to do something after this. I'll at least close this up for the people who watch us on YouTube. So, sorry, I absolutely suck at this game now. Can't seem to get a touchdown to save my life anymore. And the one time I actually did have a good chance, I fucked it up and hit the wrong button. So, thank you, and I will see you next time, maybe.